You're listening to the PRO Media Network. The next level in entertainment.
This is Big Q from the Sports Coma chiming in about the Pro Shop. Pro Shop is the platform store, and over 35 different designs are available for your pleasure. The new Drew Orleans shirts are coming in all colors, all sizes. Also for women, men, and children are available. Built Drew Orleans Tough is also available. Despite Katrina, despite the plagues, despite everything else, we're still built Drew Orleans Tough, and we're gonna make it through it. The very popular God is a Saints fan shirt is available with volume number 2. One shirt that says it all. You'll be the life of the party with your God is a Saints fan shirt. Also other designs like the Chump Missioner tees. We didn't get robbed. The Drew Orleans neck gaiter that's also available now on the Pro Shop. Also I am black and gold royalty. Tiger, purple, and gold pride. Built NOLA Zion strong. Won't back down ever. Black and gold stand up. And many other great designs are available at the Pro Shop and provided to you by Pro Apparel. And not only tees or sweaters are available at the Pro Shop, also coffee mugs, smartphone cover cases for your Apple or Android, bedspreads, towels, posters, on and etc. Go to the Pro Shop, support the platform, and represent in style. Who that? Pelicans. You're now tuned into the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. I'm Big Q chiming with you on this version of the Pelican post-game report. And we have our contributor and co-host DC tuning in now. What's going on, DC?
Yo, a lot's going on apparently. They must got something zapping energy out there in the bubble.
Well, I mean, regardless or not, the Pelicans don't look like they want to get anywhere, man. Another loss by the Pelicans. 1-3 in the last 4 games is absolutely appalling. The Pelicans go down 140-125 to the Sacramento Kings in this one, and it didn't look good from the start. The Pelicans allowed Sacramento to score 49 points in the first quarter. 49.
Yeah, they dropped 50.
Absolutely.
That was a franchise high for the Kings, right?
I think it
franchise high for the like the second time this week, right?
Yeah,
and the Clippers hit some franchise highs on them.
Yep, franchise high and 3-point shots made. Sacramento busted out that 49 quarter on the Pelicans, and truth be told, they ran away with the game. I mean, to be honest with you, at some points the Pelicans got a little closer, but every time they get closer, Sacramento would just ratchet it up and keep their foot on their necks and keep driving this one out. We're going to go over some statistics, but in this one, we'll have Coach Gentry will chime in, Brandon Ingram will chime in, Zion Williamson will chime in, and also Drew Holiday will chime in this episode of the Pelican post-game report. A lot of stuff going on, man. The Pelicans not looking good in this one. We really thought they would have been able to take care of business against Sacramento. They should have. They have dropped with this loss all the way to the bottom of the rankings in terms of those teams competing to get in the playoff with the 8 seed. They're currently sitting 2.5 games back, tied with Sacramento now. So we'll see. It'll be interesting to see exactly where the Pelicans go moving forward, as they have a bounce back date tomorrow against the Washington Wizards. But for right now, we'll keep it. We'll start off with this one. And this one, team statistics, DC, the Pelicans just, I don't know. I'm kind of from a loss for words. Defense was the Achilles heel once again. Pelicans coming to this one. They shot actually pretty decent. Field goal percentage, 57.3 off of 47 of 82. From downtown, they were 14 of 34 for 41%, 17 for 23 from the free throw line, almost a 74% there. 30 rebounds versus 39 by Sacramento in this matchup. Assists, the Pelicans were 31 to 26. Steals is 4-11 advantage. Kings, 3-3 on the blocks. Total turnovers. The Pelicans had 17 turnovers in this matchup. Points off turnovers, 22. Problem was Sacramento had only 8 turnovers in this one, with points off for turnovers at 13. Fast break points, you would think the Pelicans would have done something there. No. 2 fast break points versus 4 by the Kings. 58 points in the paint for the Sacramento Kings versus 52 by the Pelicans in the matchup. And then the largest lead the Kings had in this game was 19. You look at their field goal percentage, they were 50 of 93 for almost 54%, but shot 16 of 33 for downtown for 48.5%. But at the free throw line, they got that 33.
48%?
48.5% from the three-point line and 24-33 from the free throw line. The three-point line, 48%. And then the free throw line was 72.7%.
So wait.
24-33.
So they shot 33 three-pointers and then still managed to shoot 33 free throws.
That's right. Absolutely.
That is insane.
33 attempts from downtown and 33 attempts from the line in which they did convert. That's 10 more attempts from the free throw line than the Pelicans had, which was 23, and they converted 17 of 23 for 74%. A lot of good that would have done, even if the Pelicans were able to hit most of the free throws, it would have still have done no good because they were completely destroyed by 15 points, double digits in this one. And like I said, at one point in the game, the Pelicans kind of got a little closer, but every time they get a little closer, Sacramento would then extend out because of the ridiculous garbage defense that the Pelicans had. Now, before we get to Alvin Gentry, DC, thoughts on the game, man. What went wrong in this game? Why did the Pelicans lose?
Well, you didn't do the box scores yet, but
no, not
there
yet.
was two stats that jumped out at me. Number one, I'm trying to figure out how the hell the Pelicans scored 125 points and only had 2 fast break points. I'm really perplexed by that. Also, you go and you let a team hit all these 3-pointers. I'm watching Bogdanovic just shoot wide open 3-pointers. He hit like 7 of them. And I'm like, why? He had 5 in a row, and they was still leaving him open. I'm like, did we not read the scouting report? Like, I knew he could shoot. There was because he had the bad game the other day. I don't understand, man. That was perplexing me. And the other stat, when I looked at the box scores, what you're going to get close to, we didn't have now one guy with double-digit rebounds. It's like, I had to look at it again, like, how the hell Zion only had 2 rebounds? Wait, Brandon Ingram only had like 4 rebounds? Drew Howard had 5. Derek Favors about 5, 6. What the hell was going on? And then I just remember, like, when it was out there, nobody wasn't missing. So man, it's just like the lack of effort on defense. We look phenomenal on offense at periods, man. I mean, the Pelicans scored 40 points in the first quarter, but the only problem with that was Sacramento scored 49. So it's like we were doing our thing offensively until the fourth quarter. I think we just kind of quit. Alvin Gentry put the reserves out there, maybe like 4 minutes left. We just kind of gave up. And that's the kind of attitude the team had. I think they came in there and just thought they were going to get an easy win. And when it wasn't going that way, man, they fought for about 3 quarters, just kind of gave up and fizzled out.
Yeah, this was pathetic, man, to say the least. And I've been saying this for the longest. The fact that the Pelicans allow teams to shoot at least 12 wide open 3-point shots a game. I keep saying this because
it was like 20 today, Big Q.
That's what I'm saying. At least 12 shots a game they're going to give you. If I'm astute enough to pick that up, opposing teams are too. The Pelicans will give you wide open 3-point shots. That's what they do. And they're not the best of defenders in the low post either. You can get
we gave up 58 points in the paint too, on top of the.
Right. So how do you think you're going to win these games if you're not defending the 3-point line and you're not defending the cup? I mean, you're just a sieve. You're a sieve. You're a spaghetti strainer.
And turning the ball over 17 times.
18 times.
On top of that.
On top of all that, you sieve. You're a spaghetti strainer. That's what you are. So anyway, let's go to the coach of the New Orleans spaghetti strainers. Here goes Alvin Gentry to try to explain to you how the Pelicans keep coming up short. Here's Gentry.
Well, I did. Just a few nights ago against the Clippers. So They shot the ball extremely well. We were never into them, though. That was the tough thing, that we never really got into them. If you give up, basically a 50-point quarter, your defense has to adjust and do something. I thought we played great defense the second quarter and did a good job of getting ourselves back in the game. But then third quarter comes around and fourth quarter comes around, and we just, we really didn't guard. We weren't into the ball. They drove the ball to the basket. What we have to do is that we have to still stay focused on winning every game we can down here. And then what happens from there, we'll have to wait and see. But, our goal is that we're playing Washington tomorrow. We got to line up and we got to be very good. That team is a team that plays extremely hard, too, and they have some scorers, although they're missing, they're two key guys, obviously. But they've come down here and played extremely hard also. So nothing is going to be easy down here. So we'll just have to regroup. We'll look at it tomorrow on film, and we'll try to make some corrections, and then we'll line up and play Washington again tomorrow. Well, I don't think it's not that we're not playing hard. We're just not into the ball defensively. I think we're trying to compete and doing some things, but, you just can't give up. You can't give up a 49-point quarter, and you can't give up a 40-point quarter in the third quarter. Our defense has to be better from the standpoint of following game plans, and then just the overall effort, I guess, that is what you're talking about. But we just got to be into the ball a lot more, not a little bit more, and we've got to be much more active defensively. Well, I don't know if we were flat as much as that, we played two teams that have shot the heck out of the ball. We have to be into the ball more. I don't think it's that we don't care. I think our guys really care, and they understand the sense of urgency that we're in right now. But we put them at a comfort level, and once they were at a comfort level, and especially Bogdanovic, we had talked about him slipping out on screens and things like that, but we let him have too many catch-and-shoot situations, and he got very comfortable in them.
Hey, Coach, Christian Clark with Null.com. I know communication has been something you talked about all season. Did you feel like communication was a factor at all tonight?
I thought it was some, just talking on screens and slipping screens and things like that. We just got to do a better job with that, especially when they're slipping out shooters. Bogdanovic got 3 of his threes that way. And we just got to do a better job of communicating with each other when we're out there.
All right, DC, that was Coach Gentry's attempts to try to explain to you what's going on with the Pelicans. And it's absolutely insane, man, because you hear people, there's comments of people fire this guy. The guy doesn't know his rotations. It's absolutely.
He don't know his rotations, man. Like, he keeps doing this, he's mixing them up. Like, he's just trying rotations. Like, why don't you stick with the ones that work? You don't know which ones work? I don't get it, man. It's just random from game to game.
Absolutely terrible, man. And you can see the frustration on the faces of people like Zion Williamson, for instance. Zion Williamson looked really good in this game. He was attacking.
He was amazing. He was amazing.
22 points for him. He was 10 of 12 from the field, 4 of 7 from the free throw line. He got to clean that up a little bit, but everywhere else, he was pretty good. 24 points in 22 minutes of play. He had a couple of assists and a couple of rebounds.
He had about 5 or 6 assists, man. I watched some nice passes he made, and his teammates missed every one of them.
Couldn't hit the shots. That's true. He was past when they came down with double. He was able to find.
He was getting them wide open shots, man. It's about 3 assists he had. Well, he got guys wide open, and they missed all 3 of the shots.
And also one of the positive spots, big ups to Shamika Nixon at the WhoDatDaily.com. She wrote a really nice article picking up on one of the only bright spots in the team's losses of these games. Over the last 2 was the fact that you've seen JJ Redick stepped up and played really well. He was 6 of 11 today, 22 minutes, 5 of 10 from downtown. He put in 18 points today in a scrappy effort. And Drew Holiday threw in some points too. He had 17, 5 assists as well. That pesky turnover bug came back. He turned the ball over 4 times today. 17 points for him, 5 assists, 5 rebounds for Drew Holiday in 29 minutes. on 7 of 10 shooting from the field. He was 500 from downtown, 2 of 4. And then you looked at the compliments of Ingram and Williamson. These guys over the last couple of games have really came online. 24 for Zion, 24 for B.I. He had 24 points in this matchup, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. In 34 minutes of action, he played more than any other Pelican, 8 of 14 from the field, 3 of 4 from downtown, 5 of 6 from the free throw line, 24 solid points. Him and Zion Williamson, the problem was, in the league, 125 points should be good enough to beat most teams on most nights, unless you're the New Orleans Pelicans. 125 points should be able to beat most teams on most nights, unless you're the Pelicans allowing teams. And Sacramento doesn't score this type of pointage, DC. They don't put up 140 points a night on you to beat.
They put up some points now. I think they average probably around probably like 112 a game or something like that.
Where did the rest of it come from? But anyway, we'll go into the line on there. but we know this guy. We're gonna talk about Harrison Bourne and the fact that he's always the Pelican killer. It don't matter if he with the Mavericks or the Kings. Harrison Bourne kills the Pelicans every time he plays.
He does, but I told you, man, De'Aaron Fox. The way he plays, he's a bad matchup for Drew, man. He's too fast. He's better. He's better than Morant at this stage in his career right now, man. I knew he was going to be a problem when we talked about the preview. But Bogdanovich was the killer tonight, man. Your man killer. Harrison Barnes still got his points.
He got it off their backs. But yeah. The backcourt of De'Aaron Fox and Bogdanovich was ridiculous. They scored 65 points. The backcourt scored 65 points in the matchup. Barnes just threw in 22. Just to make sure it sticks. But the backcourt of the Kings were the killer. They had 65 points combined, and it's always been that rivalry between Fox and Lonzo Ball, but guess what? It continues. He nuked Lonzo Ball. Man,
this ain't no rivalry.
It's not even a rivalry no more. Fox is clearly the better player than him. Lonzo had 9 points in the game with 11 assists, and he shot 4 of 7. Fox carried his team to victory. Bogdanovich had 35 points in the matchup. Matter of fact, Fox line was 30 points, 10 assists. He had a double-double in the matchup and helped his team move past the Pelicans in a major way. Let's play some Zion Williamson. Let's hear what Zion Williamson thought about the Pelicans' loss tonight. Here's Zoe Williamson.
You know, defensively, I think we're fine. It's just, you know, when a team is – shooting like that, there's only so much you can do, personally. Like, they were shooting the ball. Like, they were hitting every shot. But I guess we got to come together as a team, and our coaches have to come together, and we all got to just figure out how we're going to adjust to it. I get that question after every game and every shoot-around, and my answer is going to be the same. I play every game to win. I can't really speak personally for my team, so I feel like they do play every game to win. And, the sense of urgency, personally, I think if we don't want to play like that, like you just want to play to win the game anyway, because I feel like when you play with a sense of urgency, you start to do stuff that you don't usually do. Like I said, we got to come together as a whole team and discuss how we can get better. And, hats off to the Kings, man. They shot the ball. Personally, every loss, it feels the same to me because I'm a competitor. Like, I want to win every game. Not likely because 82 games, but, I was just taught, and that's how I feel, that I go out there and try to win every game. It is a tough loss, I will say that, but, we just got to move on and come together as a team and, see what we can do to be better. Say a little bit of both. We do have to be better on the defensive end, but at the same time they are hitting shots. So I guess that's when the sense of urgency you guys talk about comes in, and just run them off the line.
All right, DC, that's Zoe Williamson, man, chiming in with his thoughts on the team, the loss or whatnot, and his feelings there. Man, I'm looking at these statistics, and I could do nothing but shake my head at the box statistics and the team statistics, how the Pelicans look.
It's bad, Q. Anytime you just the rebounding and how many offensive rebounds they gave up, man. You just didn't have that intensity, man. You didn't have that energy. It had nothing to do with not being able to shoot tonight, weak legs. I don't know. It just seems like it was kind of lackadaisical, man. I don't know how you let them out-rebound you the way they did, especially on the offensive boards, man. 13 offensive rebounds, that's a lot. And then they out-rebounded you defensively by 125 to 26. But and on top of that, you're giving them wide open three-pointers. It's just crazy. Like, it's almost as if we thought we were just going to do it all on offense, I guess. I mean, we shot 57%, which is pretty damn good. But, I mean, if you can't get no stops and you're turning the ball over, like, what'd that do? And you can't secure your possessions. You know, you're giving them second chances. And then I just can't get over these two fast break points, Big Q. Like, we have to run and have to get points in transition. How do we only get 2? And we scored 125 points. So that means we played their type of game because they only had 4 fast break points. So they wanted to slow it down at moments and be patient, which they did. They were very patient. And we tried to play that same game. And you're not going to beat somebody playing the game that they want to play.
Yeah, it was a complete disaster, man, in terms of what the Pelicans were trying to do defensively. It was laughable. The 3-point shots that they were giving the Sacramento Kings were just utterly repulsive. Bogdanovich lit their asses up. He was 6 of 9 from downtown in this matchup. He was 6 of 9 from downtown. He lit them up pretty good. Fox just cut him up going to the basket. He really hit just one 3-point shot, but it was really Bogdanovich was the person that really helped them carry the torch. He was 6 of 9, just lit them up. And, of course, they were able to get to the free throw line and contribute that way as well. They had, and also the bench. If you look at the bench, not too much. Corey Joseph came in, the old soily vet. He played 27 minutes, gave him 10 points, 4 assists and 5 rebounds off the bench to help seal the deal. Ken Basemore had 8 points shooting as well in the game. 8 points from Alex Len, the big center, who played there to help him as well. Harrison Barnes, 22 points. And, of course, Belagica even got going for a little bit. He had 11 points in the matchup as the Sacramento Kings just manhandled the Pelicans in this one. And it was a mercy thing, and it's weird because people keep asking about the rotations here. If you watch this game, Gentry was playing small lineups. He had Nico Melli in there for 15 minutes, who was in the factual today. 14 points, 2 of 7 from the field, all 4 from downtown. He simply didn't have it today. Josh Hart was the only other Pelican who put up double figures for the bench. He had 11 points in this matchup for the team. J.J. Redick had 18. Frank Jackson had just 8 points in 22 minutes, but he was 2 of 8 shooting from the field and 2 of 6 shooting from downtown. He didn't help at all. Jackson Hayes, once again, only 10 minutes of action. DC, let me ask you this. We know the rotations are screwed up. Jackson Hayes is a defensive big that can move. That's the thing about Jackson. He
played horrible on defense today.
He did play horrible on defense today, but he was only in there for 10 minutes. He played 10 minutes of action. So, I mean, of course, he gets a little better. Sometimes it takes Jackson, he's like old jalopy. It takes him a while to get warmed up once you get him crunk. But he only played 10 minutes in the matchup, 4 points, 4 rebounds in the matchup. I think maybe they need to give the young guy a little bit more time. And then outside of that, no real defensive presence. Where is Jahlil Okafor? I know these people say, Q, he's not really a defensive. But you can use a big that can score. Jahlil Okafor might not be a defensive big that can block 10 shots for you, but he's definitely a big that you can use to battle a 7-footer that's out-rebounding these smaller guys in the paint. What you think?
He can't be too much worse than Derek Favors right now because, I mean, he's not getting it done, man. I've seen Derek Favors play. DC. Amazing defense.
Derek Favors 6 points today and 4 rebounds, bro. And you can't blame none of that on foul trouble, bro. He didn't have a foul in this whole game. No. 6 points, 4 rebounds in 22 minutes. How do you explain that?
You don't, unless the only thing I could think of, because I've never seen Derek Favors play this bad. Maybe he's hurt and he's trying to push through and they're just not really reporting it. Or that back issue that he's been having. He's trying to play through it because these games are significant. But I've never seen him look this bad and just that ineffective with his interior defense. I mean, he isn't, Dwight Howard or, anything like that. But he's been a lot better than what I've seen him be as of late. So I'm gonna say Derek Favors maybe is a little banged up and he's trying to push through it. And they just don't think the young fella Hayes is ready, because I see him still making a lot of mistakes with the rotations. But when you put him like man to man in the interior and he's got to make them readjust shots and get blocks, he does that, man. He's phenomenal, crazy athleticism. He put about 20 more pounds of muscle on him, bro, and he get his rotations right. He could be the caliber of maybe defensive player of the year someday. He has the potential to be that good, but he's not there yet.
Man, I tell you what, we got a lot of stuff to talk about. Yes, y'all hear the music coming in. We're getting ready to go into our break. But to be honest with you, it's looking pretty glum if you're a Pelican person right now. But we got faith in the team. I have faith in the potential of the team, but I'm going to keep it real with you. I don't have faith in the coaching. We're going to talk about that on the other side of the break. We also have BI's interview coming up. Andrew Holiday they're going to talk about their thoughts on the loss to the Sacramento Kings as they drop all the way down to the last spot, 2.5 back underneath Sacramento, who was there. And now we replaced them as the bottom spot, chasing the Memphis Grizzlies for the AC. You're listening to the Pelican Post-Game Report on the PRO Media Network. Stick with us.
Remington Tax Solutions is a company that, together with their partners, provide virtual tax consultation and preparation for individuals, small business, and nonprofit. They also provide notary and a host of other business-related services for their clients. Their associates provide a systematic yet very client-centered approach to their services. They offer the industry knowledge and insight to help solve your most complex tax issues. At Remington, their currency is time, the one resource that cannot be replenished. For that reason, they utilize the simplest and most effective forms of technology to make their services faster and more efficient. No need to wait in the office until your taxes are completed. Simply upload your documents via the Taxes to Go app or via their client portal, and they'll take care of the rest. Remington Tax Solutions is a member of the National Association of Tax Professionals and participates in the IRS Annual Filing Season Program, which is a voluntary tax education program to stay abreast of the ongoing changes in tax legislation. Remington Tax Solutions has a strong connection to the communities in which they serve. It is a part of their mission to make a positive impact on the lives of their neighbors. So, if you're looking for a reliable, effective, and trustworthy tax preparation service, Remington Tax Solutions is the business for you. Contact Remington Tax Services at their number 682-307-4410 or simply go to remingtontax.com. That's remingtontax.com. Remington Tax Service, virtual tax preparation for the individual and small business.
Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys. Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Eye View, the new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelican. Attention, everyone. Get breakdown on games, free agent signings, and potential moves. Unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Valley. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000. Celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registers and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
There's a lot of reasons to be a fan, but only NBAstore.com has all the gear.
Are you a Pelicans fan? Check out the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network.
You're listening to the Pelicans postgame report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're listening to the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network, heading into the second segment. First segment covered a lot. This segment will play interviews from Drew Holiday, Brandon Ingram, and we're going to cover this a little bit more before we then get into the next preview matchup against the Washington Wizards, where the Pelicans got to get over this loss and then get ready for Washington next. And with a few games left to go, the Pelicans got to keep their eyes on the prize regardless, man. We got to keep it marching. So coming into this one, how we left it, DC, there's a lot of commentary from the fan base that wants Elvin Gentry out of here. Of course, they're not going to do that right now because they're in the crux of a playoff push. But man, I don't have faith in Elvin Gentry. I've been feeling this way for a very long time. I loved all the moves the Pelicans made when new VP Griffin came in here. I loved all the moves that he made. I liked the addition of general manager Langdon. I loved the swim cash move. I loved all of the moves on the court. But the move that they should have rectified before they started playing basketball was the removal of the head coach, who was a mistake by the general manager before him. That's the thing that they stuck with, and that was a major flaw. Now you're starting to see why we feel like what we feel about Gentry's incomplete, out of wet. Let's push forward, man, and cover that about Gentry, his rotations, the fact that he doesn't know his personnel like he's supposed to, the fact that the defense is sorely lacking. The last previous contests, DC, the losses were clear indications that the Pelicans defense is not effective enough. It's not good enough to contend. And these are playoff teams the Pelicans are running with. This don't seem like they have had that moment where the light is turned on. Was, look, we're in the middle of a battle, a heated battle for this spot. We need to close these problems and these issues, and we need to play better. What's going on here quickly before we go into the next interview?
Man, a lot's going on. You said a whole mouthful and saying everything what you wanted to talk about. Everything, man. But the biggest thing that I don't think you mentioned with Alvin Gentry is, we got to think about one thing here. We have a team full of very, very young players. Alvin Gentry's like 65. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I mentioned that before. I said he was too old to have a young team like this. I've said
it's that and on top of that, Alvin Gentry is the type of coach that, he gonna give you enough rope to hang yourself. He's a very likable guy. I like Alvin Gentry. I think he's an offensive genius. But as you can see, that don't look too good on the defensive side of things. Then you got Jeff Bezzadelli, who's not there. And it's obvious whatever they're implementing on defense, that shit ain't working. And they've simplified the defensive scheme twice. You know what I'm saying? And the Kings still went out here and dropped 140 points on you. And, it's not like teams are exploiting this one weakness. The Pelicans have multiple different ways that they haven't seen. Everybody doing the same damn thing on them. And that's the thing with me. Like, it's okay to make mistakes, but you can't keep making the same mistakes and then feeling like it should have been different. Like, if you as a team or a person, if you keep clocking in to work late, and they told you if you clock in to work late, we're going to have to let you go. And you keep coming in late, and then you get fired, and you're like, I don't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing over and over, man. Everybody's getting wide open three-pointers, and then we overextend trying to guard the three-point line, and they tear us up in the paint. Pretty much every loss we had in the bubble pretty much went that way, other than, I guess you could the Jazz thing was still similar, but it was a close game, so we'll take that one out. But coaching, to me, I can't blame a coach when the team is put in position to succeed, when I see them playing hard, when their energy is there. To me, coaching affects things like that. Certain coaches have, they got a way of talking to you to motivate you to want to play harder, making sure you're in the right positions. And if you're not, then I'm about to put one of these guys in off the bench that's going to be in the right position till you figure it out. And we clearly don't have that with Alvin Gentry. Anytime I see a team lose the way the Pelicans have been losing in this bubble, is I wouldn't say like they giving up on him. I really don't think that's it. I think they like him and they want to play for him, but I think he just doesn't prepare them properly the way they need to show up with that same intensity, energy, accuracy that we know they're capable of, because we've seen the team do it, so we know they can. So they're just very inconsistent. And to me, that falls on coaching.
All right. Well, we got some more interviews for you. Here is Brandon Ingram as he talks about the Pelicans, the loss to the Kings. Here we go.
I think we can go back on film and see some of our mistakes and how we can get better. I think in the first quarter, it was just all about them feeling us on the defensive end. I think it felt like they were shooting around a little bit in the first quarter. When they get a rhythm like that, when they score 50 in the first quarter, it's hard to fight back with that.
Brandon, this is Richard with Ball.com. This wasn't exactly a must-win for you guys, but it was pretty close. Did you, considering the stakes, did you just feel like sense of urgency was there that you guys needed to have?
I mean, like I said, not in the first quarter. Even for me, defensive plays, everybody has some mistakes on the defensive end, and it kind of trickled down for the rest of the game. I don't think we had that sense of urgency, but things like this always make us have a response.
Hey, Brandon, this is Andrew from ESPN. Is this one of those days where you're kind of glad there's a game tomorrow to kind of flush this and get back to it?
Whatever day it is, I think we just look for the next opportunity. I don't think we have any excuses for tired legs or us being tired for this game. I think we'll be full of energy tomorrow, ready for the game, playing ready to rock and roll.
In the second quarter, there was a couple of times where you guys had it down to 2 or 3, and you'd miss a corner shot or do something like that. Do you think that kind of took its effect on you guys, that you just couldn't get it over the hump right when you needed to?
Maybe that would have been a momentum shift, but we didn't get it. I think for us, the offense is always going to be there. I think it's us on the defensive end. It's us being locked in at all times.
Will Guillory, go ahead.
Yeah, what's up, BI? This Will again. I know this is something you guys have dealt with, basically since you got to the bubble, but do you think not having Jeff there has affected you guys more than expected?
Oh, I mean, he's still reaching out to us. He's still trying to play his part and giving advice to everybody. He's done his job, but also Fred has done a great job of coming in with different schemes, trying to make it easier on us on the defensive end. I think he's done a really good job of telling us the game plan, and telling us to follow it. It's on us to follow the game plan and execute.
All right, that was
Thank you, Bi.
Elvin. That was Brandon Ingram. Brandon Ingram chiming in with his thoughts on the Pelicans loss and what the team need to do. Yada yada yada. Man, it's so much, man, because we have the team is so versatile yet so talented. You have superstars. You have a star like Zion Williamson, who he did admit that his minutes will pick up from what they were to 40 into the 30 range in these next few games, where you'll see a lot of that occurring. So that's a positive. But him and Ingram, Zion Williamson and Brandon Ingram have been playing really well over the last 2 games. That's probably one of the rare things I can make mention about pertaining to the team bright spots, the silver linings, as it were. But these other things, the really unimpressive play of Zoe Ball has really stood out to me. The fact that the Pelicans have not had a point guard off the bench that has really kind of solidified the lineup and moved the ball around. The fact that the Pelicans haven't really had the big off the bench to provide the key piece of defense the team needs, where Favors, when he sits down, and then, of course, the fact that Favors hasn't looked that well in these games at all. I don't know exactly what's going on, whether Favors is injured.
Well, they stole his birthday cake and his cupcakes in the bubble, man. So I don't know. Maybe they had something to do with it.
Well, possibly. You never know how it's going. It's a very unique environment going on there, and you never know. But it just is amazing how you got six-figured guys in there, and they still stealing birthday cakes and everything. Anyway, here's Drew Holiday, man. Let's see what Drew had to say about the Pelicans' loss. Here's Drew Holiday.
Do you feel there was a lack of urgency today on your guys' part?
No, I think they came out blazing. Just like I said, I don't think it was a lack of effort. I got to go back and watch it, and at that point, kind of figure it out. But man, they were knocking down shots. They're making good plays. They're making some tough shots at first, but. We stayed in it for a little bit, but it just kind of got out of hand. So.
Do you think that there was a couple of times, especially in the second, where you guys got it to 5-2, and then would miss it was either a corner three or something like that? Do you think that kind of took its toll on you guys, that you were getting so close but couldn't get over the hump?
I think we needed a boost. Again, the way that they were playing, the way they were shooting the ball, especially by Donovan. When we got in close, we kind of needed a boost or a big shot or something, or even like a key stop. But those things we just got to convert on. And at this point, we got to forget about it because we got to get them on.
Thanks, Drew.
What's up, Drew? This is Will Guillory with The Athletic. We know how much you care about defense, so how frustrating is it, 2 out of these 4 games to have things get away from you as much as they have defensively?
Yeah, it sucks. I'm ready for tomorrow's game.
I guess, what do you got to do to kind of, get things back on track?
Honestly, just lock in, take pride. You know what I'm saying? Just be able to be disappointed when somebody scores, and sometimes that might be hard because you're just giving all your effort on defense and leaving it out there, and then offensively, shots aren't falling and plays that we usually make we weren't making, but just got to lock in. This game is hard and it's tough to play, but you got to do it.
Hey, Drew, Christian Clark with Ball.com. It seemed like they were really able to do damage off of dead balls specifically. I mean, do you think that's a focus thing? Just what do you think was going on there?
Set off what?
It seemed like they were able to score after dead balls and pauses and play. Do you think that was a focus thing? I was just wondering what did you think was going on there?
I think they were scoring off everything. They got offensive rebounds. We kind of need to get in there to protect our paint, protect the rebounding. But honestly, man, just got to go back and look at the tape.
Thank you, Drew.
All right, that was Drew Holiday. His thoughts.
Ready for the next game?
Yeah, of course, Drew Holiday. What you expect? An emotional outburst from Drew Holiday?
He's like, how does that make you feel? Ready for the next game?
Fine.
I want to play tomorrow.
And that's the thing. Well, they don't have to kind of bask or marinate in the pain of losing for very long. They get the back-to-back. Now they'll get ready to take on a team that's struggling way worse than they are, and the Washington Wizards, who are 24-44. This will be at 7 o'clock Central Time tomorrow, and the Pelicans can get on the winning foot against this team. This should be a medicine game for the Pelicans. The top people are not in there, and the Pelicans, you couldn't ask for a better matchup for them to take on this Wizards club. DC, what do you think?
Right, man. I mean, this should be medicine, and hopefully they watch that Portland-Denver game because, man, Dame done dropped like 45. Portland is hot, and that's the team you got to catch. So they're paying attention to that and looking at them Spurs, and you running against competition like the Wizards. You done gave away a victory to Sacramento, a team that was winless out here. And, so, I mean, this is one of those games. It's almost like the Memphis game all over again. We should see the same intensity as we saw in Memphis. I mean, we should have saw that intensity today against Sacramento, but for some reason, I guess they just thought Sacramento was going to roll over or something. So we should see that intensity against the Wizards, and this is probably the easiest game on our schedule if they can show up to play against this team, knowing that they're the far superior team, but actually put the effort forward and go ahead and earn it, hopefully we won't have any more problems with them in energy, just bringing energy. Because defenses, come on, let's be real, Big Q, all defenses is want to. You just got to really want to not let the guy score on you. It's an attitude, like you said. You got to be passionate about that, and that takes energy. So if we got a bunch of guys lackadaisical out there, too cool for school, as our team is, just ho-hum. It's amazing that Drew Holiday plays such great defense and he has that type of personality. Just don't seem like nothing really bothers him. But he even mentioned in his interview, you got to be upset when somebody scores on you. And it's obvious that he don't like people doing that, even though the backcourt today dropped 60-something points. But I get what he was saying, and that's what it is, man. And it should be an easy task against the Wizards if they come out there with that type of attitude and actually are really focused on defense, like they said they've been focusing on. Lonzo Ball claimed, we didn't need to focus on offense, we need to focus on defense. Well, you ain't look too good on defense either today, bro. You know what I'm saying? So they need to do that and fix. I mean, we don't expect you to be perfect, or we don't expect them to be Milwaukee Bucks, but you can't give people 20-something wide open three-pointers and look shocked when they drop 140 points. So,
well, I mean, that's absolutely the case. I mean, we'll see exactly what it looks like because, man, I mean, to tell you, the Pelicans, man, over these besides the contest, of course, when we were able to get the win against the Grizzlies, the Pelicans have really struggled, man. They were annihilated by the Clippers by 23 a few days back. Prior to that, the restart game, they drop a 16-point lead to Utah in a loss where Utah then wins by 2. They come back the next game, get blown out by 23 by the Clippers in a 3-point barrage, which they shattered their single-season 3-point shooting record. They come back and stop the 2-game slide by beating a Memphis Grizzlies team impressively. And then you think they would build on top of that, and then they get decimated by 3-point shots once again by a Sacramento team that doesn't score 140 points, never even comes close to that, drops them and beats them by 15, man. It's absolutely amazing. I don't know which version of the Pelicans are going to show up. This game here, this is a give-you game. It's a medicine game. They don't have Wall. They don't have Bill. Hachimura is still learning how to play the game. Thomas Bryant is probably their best player right now, the center. So, I mean, they have a bunch of free agents and mismatch, undrafted pieces. This team is probably one of the worst teams in the NBA restart, and they're offered
What you mean one of? This is the worst team in the NBA restart, Big Q. I think Brooklyn better than them.
When you look at it, this is a medicine game that the Pelicans have to get right with, DC. I mean, seriously, this is ridiculous, man. Time is running out on the Pelicans to step up and do what they got to do, and we'll see exactly what goes on. Final thoughts before we shut the stream down.
Man, we back at where we was at with Memphis, man. They don't win this game, bro. I'm looking at Coach Gentry again. Like, this is just one of those games that you got to win because it's so obvious that it's easy. Even if the Pelicans, let's say there's rumors floating around that they don't want to make the playoffs for whatever reason, even if they don't want to make the playoffs, like, you got to win this game. You can't lose this one. You know what I'm saying? It's the Wizards without Bradley Beal. How do you explain taking an L against them?
I think
the lowest seeded team in the bubble. Well, maybe not the lowest seeded, but least as talented team in the bubble. Can't lose against them, man. And you talk about the future.
Absolutely not. You got to take care of business against Washington. They'll take care of business. It's Friday night, 7 o'clock Central Time, and I think they'll take care of business against the Wizards. What's interesting is to see if they're serious. That following Sunday at 2 o'clock, they'll take on the San Antonio Spurs. We'll see where their mind frame is. And the next 3 games after the Washington matchup is San Antonio at 2 on Sunday, which is a primetime matchup, And of course, Tuesday and Thursday matchups of next week will give them absolutely the chance to take on the Sacramento Kings to get some revenge. And then they close out the NBA restart with the Orlando Magic next Thursday on August the 13th. So the Pelicans have to take care of business. And in my opinion, they have to close out the season and win every last one of these games to have a chance. There is no more room for error. There is no more room for losses. The Pelicans must win these next 4 games to put themselves in position to challenge for that final spot. And hope some luck happen away, with some unfortunateness happening where you have a few teams ahead of you that might take a tumble or a fall to get you in, to help you in position. But the Pelicans have to take care of business. They must beat Washington, San Antonio, Sacramento again, and Orlando to close out the NBA restart. It's as simple as that. I'd like to thank all of you guys for joining us on this edition of Pelican Postgame Report. We'll be back tomorrow for the Pelican Postgame Report matchup recap of the Washington Wizards game, which it should be a win. If it's not, I'm not doing any more Pelican Postgame Reports for the rest of the goddamn season until they fire Elvin Gentry. I'm going to get real. If they lose, y'all heard me live on here. If they lose, there's no more Pelican Postgame Reports until Elvin Gentry is fired. Let's just keep it real. So anyway, thank y'all for joining us today. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed to the #1 independent Pelican podcast in the land, the Pelican Postgame Report. Subscribe, share, and like the show. And if you want to help out the platform, go in the links below, and there's donations for Cash App and PayPal. You can also sign up for our Patreon page to help the platform that way. Also, merch is there as well. So from me and DC, thank you for joining us today. Peace.
Peace.
Are you a Pelicans fan? Check out the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network.
The Kleins family has been getting people to go nuts for old nuts since 1995. As legends have it, a number of the Kleins friends who heard the idea said you can go nuts trying to name a store like that. In the excitement, the Kleins thought their friends said old nuts instead of go nuts and proceeded to throw caution to the wind. Old Nuts has over 2,000 items, bulk and wholesale prices of a whole lot of your favorite fruits, nuts, and confections, a selection of gift baskets for any budget, any occasion, and provides one of the best and impressively rated shopping experiences on the web. Fact is, between their selection, service, speed, or their online presence in the virtual mirror retail experience, they have developed an enviable client base that's comprised of personal and professional customers who count on their remarkable range of gift baskets. Think of gift basket, think about Old Nuts. Check them out, oldnuts.com. Check the link in the description section below. Tea is your escape. It's your opportunity to create a moment for stillness, for reflection, for yourself. It's your connection to a world of senses, flavors both exotic and familiar, energizing and relaxing. It's your retreat from an increasingly turbulent world. It's the perfect paradox of simplicity and complexity. Teabox.com connects tea to people, uniting the richest flavors of the finest teas with the curious, the cultivated, and the adventurous all over the world. The freshest tea you've ever tasted, from crop to cup. There's simply no simpler way to experience the wonderful complexity of tea. Teabox, packing up the freshness. Tea thrives on freshness, and so do they. Teabox temperature and humidity control facility ensure that tea is maintained. The teas themselves go into oblique bags with aluminum layers that protect them from excess moisture and light. With Teabox, shopping for fresh, loose leaf tea is easy because you make an informed purchase. You know exactly where your tea is coming from. So for the freshest teas in the world, check out Teabox.com. That's right, Teabox.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Go to newfrog.com for all of your electronic gadget needs. Fast becoming #1 online seller of cell phone and accessories, consumer electronics, automobiles and motorcycles, home and garden items, 5D diamond painting crafts, electrical and tool supplies, computer and networking supplies, lights and lighting supplies, sports and travel items, toys and hobby supplies, apparel and accessory, mother and kid items, health and beauty items, and much, much more. Newfrog.com has up to 70% off on some products. And you can check out their weekly promotions for all the best deals. Remember, when thinking online electronics and gadgets, think New Frog. Newfrog.com. Check the link in the description section below.
What's up, sports world? The PRO Media Network is on a mission to reach 10,000 subscribers. So besides our regular programs like the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, the Pelican Post Game Report, Rapid Fire TSC, and others, we will be expanding out and offering other content like movie, anime, and gaming reviews for your entertainment. So if you enjoy our content, please donate at our Patreon page. Also subscribe, comment, and share, and help the PRO Media Network reach 10,000 subs. Peace.